Welcome back to the Ciaran and Josh experience, recorded in front of a live studio audience. For the first time ever, I'm Josh McKenna.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can match that enthusiasm.
Please do.
My name is Ciaran Sanders.
And our guest today is...
Cameron Jefferys from Australia.
In the back, Jill.
We do have Jill sitting in on
Jill
this
Laird.
episode, from the previous episode. Cam, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I don't screw up too many stories, so there doesn't have to be too much correcting.
We can fix that in the
yeah,
on
you
the
can do that
editing
in
room.
post, right?
Yeah.
That's dope. Hell yeah.
So let's paint a little picture of what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
We're sipping some red wine from Australia, Cam's homeland.
Right from the
A
homeland.
little Murray Banks.
From the Murray.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Cab Sav, as we
Yes,
call
of
it.
course.
Oh, wow.
We have to shorten everything because it's so hot, you know.
How trendy.
Wow.
Right?
How foreign.
Yeah, I've heard that before, that Australians shorten like so many words.
Yep. I mean, not sort of grammatically correct, but if it makes sense, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
Our most recent one would be our new Prime Minister. His name is Scott Morrison. That's too long, so we just call him ScoMo.
ScoMo.
I like it.
ScoMo.
You know what
I
mean?
like it.
So, I mean, Cam, excuse me for, referring to a stereotypical Australian phrase, but is it not true that Australians would even shorten acronyms? Shrimp on the Barbie?
Yeah. I mean, wherever it's applicable,
Wow.
we'll shorten that bad boy.
Fascinating.
Mm.
Kieran, how do we know Cam?
Well, I think I speak for both of us when I say that we know Cameron through Jillian. And I think the first time that I ever knew of Cameron's existence was at Camp Quanos.
Wow.
Where Jillian was the female camper that we would bother. The female... Oh, yeah,
Counselor.
that's right.
Yeah.
What did I say? Camper? Oh, my gosh.
She
wow.
felt like a camper.
Yeah, she felt
Yeah.
like a camper. And when we were at camp, it was so much fun. Like, Josh and I would go down to the dock where Jill was. You were a lifeguard or you were just chilling? Dock coordinator. And we'd bring you tea and stuff like that. And, it was so funny because Josh, well, mostly Josh, but I was more of a witness, I would say. It was great fun because Josh would be like, okay, Jill, you need to open my Snapchats that I send you. Keep in mind, phones are absolutely not allowed at this camp, and he should not even have it. And he would say, Jill, I sent one, you opened it, and you didn't respond. That is not okay. Jill, I'm 100 yards away in my boys' cabin. Next time I'm just going to walk over there and give you a piece of my mind. Now, keep in mind, they are very strict about the racial, or the, did I say racial?
Racial?
No.
Phone usage?
What kind? Yeah, about the gender segregation, especially when it comes to cabins. No boys and girls cabins, no girls and boys cabins. And, we would, like, Josh would plan this as soon as the whole, like, counselor leader would walk by, and she'll be
Like a head counselor.
Josh, you shut up right now. I could lose my job.
The
Josh,
whole week.
That's
you
a
just
good
keep
impression.
keeping Jill like
you need
on
to-
the
I swear
edge
to God,
of her seat.
I'm not joking anymore, Josh. I'm not joking. This needs to stop. And we'd invite Jill to come over to our cabin right in front of, a head counselor or something like that. Oh, Jill, you want to come? Just come over. I hear that the security is lax between the hours of 3 and 4. So just come over anytime between then. And
To be clear, she didn't. But
She did not. No,
just if
nothing
there's
happened.
any head counselors listening,
Nothing happened.
we just love to give her a hard time.
Nothing happened, and it was so funny. But yes, when we were having one of these exchanges, Jill mentioned that there was a young man in Australia that she had her eye on. Yeah.
Stemmed from the Kentucky tour that we both went on.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that, Cam.
So
It was so official, Josh. Wow.
Oh.
I feel like every
Very
episode,
official mood
oh my
tonight.
gosh,
whoa.
every episode we're just going up in the world.
So that happened to coincide with my sort of gap year. So I finished high school in 2014. So great year. You know,
Pretty
all the
decent
all the
year, if
best
you ask
wine
me.
is from that. I mean, 2017 is okay. But yeah.
A vintage 2017.
Oh,
Yes.
you can't get any better. Yeah, but me and a friend went to London because actually a few of our friends were there doing a sort of gap year, a whole year in London, but we just went over for like a couple of months, did this tour, and then Jill and I sort of connected.
Hit it off. Yeah,
Hit it off.
absolutely.
And then I guess just stayed in contact ever since then, and yeah, it hasn't been too hard. No, I'm getting
Jill's shaking her head.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, in agreement.
Oh
Okay.
yes, of course. Sorry.
And then yeah, we just.
Just like, what are you talking about? I thought we were just friends.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. No, we're just friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we
We've
just.
been dating for 2 years now. Is it right? No. What are you talking about?
Mm.
What do you mean we've been dating?
You know what's so honestly when girls or guys for that matter, when anyone on Instagram posts something about like, oh, you know, I'm so thankful for so and so, can't imagine spending life like best friend. Sometimes the way that they word it, it's like I know it's a term of endearment, like, oh yeah, I'm so like you're my best friend, that's why I'm in this relationship with you. But sometimes the way that they word it, I'm unsure if this is a friend post. You know, they're like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, that's, and the pictures that they post is, you know,
It's too much.
not, I wouldn't even say too much, it's just too ambiguous.
Yeah.
It's like two people doing an activity like at dinner. It's like, oh, okay, well, you know, someone's taking the picture, like, so I don't know, maybe it's a group that went out, and it's like people going out. It's like, oh, there's a group of people there. It's like, is this a friend or is this like a like I'm missing the point of this, you know?
Or, you know, you always get those people who are always like, I'm so blessed to be dating my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, Cam, if I could ask while you're in front of your girlfriend right now, what do you think of that? Dating a best friend? Because sometimes I think a friend is just a different, you know, thing. I could be dating someone, and Ciaran would still be like my closest friend, you know. So,
Oh, thank you for
what
saying
do you
that,
think?
man.
What do you
I
think
really-
about that, Cam?
I really appreciate that.
I think it's good. It definitely creates a lot of trust, because you know that person is your best friend.
So you agree with the term best friend?
Yeah, I guess so.
So your mouth is saying yes, your eyes are saying no. Okay, we're good.
Okay, dude, you can't play both sides. You gotta say something and stand by it. You can't play for both teams.
Jill, are you my best friend?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go, lads.
Cam, a couple seconds ago, she just said someone else was her best friend. So
I have more
I
than
mean,
one best friend.
oh,
Oh.
then there's no best.
Wow.
Josh, you're one of my best friends.
Man, if she has more than one best friend, Cam, do you think she has
Whoa,
more
whoa,
than
whoa,
one
whoa,
boyfriend?
whoa, John or Jill.
Kieran's one of my boyfriends.
Oh,
Boyfriends. Oh,
My boyfriend, Josh, my best friend. Cam's both.
well, I knew that we had a working relationship, Jill. Jill, I sold your family business's flowers over the summer, but I didn't know that it extended. I'm mixing business with romance here. I don't know.
I'm joking.
whoa, let's keep it
Yeah,
professional.
I know.
here,
That's what
please.
I was thinking of, keeping it professional. There was absolutely, if you go through my inbox of business emails, you're not going to find anything.
But what about her emails?
Lock her up. Lock her up. So, actually,
moving on.
Yeah.
we have a new segment here. It's the first time we've had an international guest and a live audience, both in one go.
Yeah, I flew all the way here.
And the first time we've
Yes.
actually had a professor on the show as well.
Yes,
Mhm.
Cameron, you're a professor, but the field that you're a professor in is a very, it's a very specific area. It's Australia 101 is the course.
Yep.
Which
And-
school did you get your doctorate at again?
Man, I can't remember. That was so long ago. Some guy just was like, "Hey, do you want a real quick degree in Australia?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we just sat down for like an hour, and he gave me a pretty brief but very descriptive explanation of Australia. And then
Well, as most first year
Fascinating.
courses
I
are.
guess that's how it goes in Australia. Hey?
yeah,
But please, Cam, you're going to take us through a brief introduction to Australia as a
Australia.
whole and maybe some historical context. I'm wearing a shirt right now.
Yeah, I was
have
just
to
gonna
say
say.
for the listeners at home, it's an Australian shirt. It's authentic from
100%.
Australia.
Really?
Confirmed.
Was it made
by
in Australia?
100. Check the tag.
Have a look here. I mean,
Is there a tag?
Yeah, no, we got designed and printed Australia.
Wow.
Doesn't really make sense. Oh yeah, look at that, China. Made in Australia.
Oh,
yeah.
nice, nice. I knew it. I just knew it.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, please, can't take it away.
All right, so basically, there was this big old dry continent called Australia, and then these British guys. I don't know how Australian I should extend this, but we'll see how we go.
I think they're called mates, isn't it? What you call
Oh,
in
of
Australia?
course.
Some
Yes.
British mates.
British mates.
Mhm.
That's British. Decided
Do
to.
you wanna-
Sorry.
just if you can't keep it together, you're gonna have to leave. Okay, thank you.
Security?
I'm a professor.
Security. Yep. Take her away.
And then they decided to go for a little sailing trip. Came down to this dry continent and were like, oh, this seems pretty good. That place is called Botany Bay now. It also happens to be where the airport is for some reason.
Wow.
And then they
And it was
inhabited
it's
that.
in Sydney.
In Sydney. That
Mhm.
was where they landed. Good old Captain Cook, Captain James Cook. Sorry, gosh,
Mm.
can't disrespect, good old Cookie.
That's what you guys call him.
Yeah, Cookie. Yeah, mate.
Well, that's not shorter at all.
And then they just sort of
Yeah, it's 2 whole letters longer.
That's longer. For
But
sure.
well, you
Cookie.
take the captain. Well, if you
Cookie?
take the title away, it's just Cook.
Of course. What a strange place, Australia.
Strange,
Please continue,
strange
Cam.
backwards world.
And then he oh crap, what are you doing? And then he inhabited that continent.
Colonized.
Colonized.
Well,
That's the
okay,
word.
Inhabited. There was no one there before. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah. Same thing with Captain Vancouver came to Vancouver. Nobody here.
Was he the first guy who came to North America, Ciaran?
Well, no, there was a couple other blokes that came
Okay,
this way.
Mm.
No one here, so they just decided to stay.
Terranullius, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good one. But interesting fact.
We all have the common ancestor of an old white man, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
He's
how it goes.
French or German or something. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
But interesting fact, if James Cook didn't land in Australia, if he was a few hours late, we could have been a Spanish country because the Spanish were on the other side of the continent coming round. But by the time they got to Australia, James Cook was already well set up and he was just chilling. And they were like, oh, well, British are here.
So he just
Dang.
packed up and left.
I don't know the extent of if they had a bit of conflict
Sorry,
going on.
I'm going too in depth. Sorry.
What
But
would you prefer, Cam? British or Spanish Australia?
I mean, the Spanish are saucy, but I do like the Brits.
Of course.
So
Yeah, I'd say like the Brits, like Australia is like a refined, like just like everything that's British, just kind of throw an exponent on it,
it's
and you kind of get Australia.
refined is a good word. I think with this the things that we don't like we reject and then
Exactly.
make our
It's
own,
like a Britain 2.0.
yeah,
All the worst parts of Britain they just left behind on that dreary little island.
exactly.
The weather, the fashion.
Yeah,
Not to
got-
mention the
got that right.
what was it? What else? Oh, the cuisine. Australian cuisine is
Oh,
so
whole
much
nother
better.
level.
Yeah. What do you have?
Yeah.
Those meat pies you can get at McDonald's?
meat pies.
Mackies?
We can't get them at McDonald's.
It's Mackies, right?
Macca's.
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 Pardon me.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yes. I'd say that concludes class for today. Thank you very much,
No
Thank you,
worries.
Professor Jeffries.
Next time we'll do Australian geology.
Oh, nice.
I actually studied that.
Wow. Did you?
Really?
That was part of like high school. It was. Now it's more interesting, but back then that was like, oh man, this is so boring.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just staring at a lot of rocks.
A lot of rocks.
A lot of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So concert update, Josh.
Let's get it.
You're raring to go. Like I
went
I've
to one
kicked
last
the
night.
tires. I've removed the blocks they put in front of the plane. All you need to do is just put it in. I don't know what a plane. You put it in gear, I guess.
Put it in gear.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. You put it in
Put it in
fly.
drive.
I actually
Fly?
wondered that. How did are there keys to a plane? Or how do they turn that guy on? Are they just like on, or is
I
it
think
always
so.
on?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
probably
think
keys.
there's probably keys to. I don't know if the keys necessarily start the engine,
But who keeps the
but I wonder if it
keys?
just
Mm.
keeps the keys.
Right.
I don't know. We know a couple pilots. Let's ask.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure for commercial flights, there's no keys.
Yeah.
No, that's.
Can you
what I'm
imagine? It's like you get all set up and ready. It's like
They
Oh,
just
on the
man.
hand you
intercom.
the key.
Yeah, and like the pilot pops his head out. Oh, hey, pass me the keys. Yeah. All right, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like walking. He's just like swinging them on a lanyard, like walking. um, but yeah, I've been waiting to do a concert update since the last episode because I've been to a stupid amount of shows since our last episode. Just a stupid amount. Okay.
What's
Go hard or
this?
go home.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
picked
haven't
it.
either.
Yeah.
I like it though. I'm a
I-
fan.
A friend of mine, so a guy I played soccer with, he said that kind of off the cuff. And I looked at him. I was like, "That's a good line. I'm gonna have to use that." Yeah. Sorry. My main question was, what constitutes a stupid amount?
Okay, so since November 1st, I went and I saw Tash Sultana, Australian. Fantastic, right?
I listened
It's
to
great.
Tash Sultana.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she was very good. I saw her at UBC, and she was it's like a one-woman show. There was an opening band, but she didn't have any backup. She just like looped herself a bunch and played like a million instruments. It was wild, really good, great time. Another Australian band opened for them actually called Ocean Alley.
Oh, I love Ocean Alley.
They were really cool. They had a
They
good vibe.
actually premiered their could be their only album at our local pub.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see them?
No, my friends went. I didn't know of them at the time, but they were like, "Oh yeah, we went and saw these Ocean Alley guys," and I was like, "Oh damn it, I know those guys now."
They were actually really cool.
Yeah, Ocean Alley, good bunch of guys.
They might have had too many guitarists though, because they had like 4 guitarists or something like that, and
Yeah.
they were never all playing at the
It's
same
a-
time because
it's
there
a-
weren't enough parts.
It's a big band, isn't
yeah.
it? How many people?
Oh, I think they're like 6 or 7 or something like that.
Far out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's too many instrumentalists.
but they were cool. Yeah, the whole night was a good night. Lots of good vibes there. And then I saw Thrice. Ciaran and I went. We saw Thrice with
That we did.
with the Bronx opening for him. I saw the Bronx before, as well as Thrice briefly, but and it was great to see them play together. They put on a great show.
Mhm.
Ciaran, you were crowd surfing again there, and you
I think
got
I was the only guy that crowd surfed there,
Man.
and it was great for about a second. And I was a little bit sketched out because
Yeah.
there were not nearly as many people, and the people that were there, I don't know if they're kind of just into the whole vibe.
yeah.
But a guy just turned to me, a big burly gentleman, Caucasian, bearded, looks at me, probably 6'4", 6'5", several inches taller than me. He's like, in the middle of a song, like kind of that. It was like a moment where like everything kind of stands still, and he like looks at me and we lock eyes. And he's like, "Want to go up?" And I was like,
yeah.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir." And I just hop up, puts his, it was like a fireman thing where he loops his hands together and it's like ready to kind of throw me up there.
And you just
Yeah, and he just threw me, and I was up there. I almost fell, and I was a little bit sketched, but I made it. But the problem was, as soon as I got to the front, where like they kind of, let you down, they
Yeah.
kind of threw me,
oh
the people in the front, and the bouncer literally caught me
Dude,
midair.
I saw this happen
'Cause I was on
you
my
were, like,
back.
tumbling over the crowd, like on top of everyone, and then they threw you out of the audience, and I just see you flying like actually sideways, like completely, like your body's at a 90-degree angle
Yeah.
angle sideways, and this bouncer just like opened his arms up and like clapped
Diagonally,
his arms
yeah, diagonally.
around you.
It was like those videos of like high jumpers that go over the bar backwards.
Yeah.
That was kind of it. I was kind of like, whoa, because I
Whoa.
got thrown. I was head facing the stage,
Oh,
and they threw me
snap.
head first, and I was like, oh crap, here we go.
Yeah.
Thank God that bouncer caught me.
And
I
then,
just-
he was immediately like up on the railing. He was like, "No, no more, no." don't throw him. No.
He might have just been afraid that he couldn't recreate such a perfect catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's
Next
just
time
covering
around.
his bases. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was fun.
Yeah, that was
I'm okay. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a good show. I enjoyed it. Like my favorite band, so I was really excited to see them headline a show because I'd seen them open before, but never headline. So, and then after that, I saw All Them Witches. We both saw All Them Witches.
Good band.
They were great. Their opener was also great too. Handsome Jack.
Oh, love those guys. Yeah.
They had a really good vibe, kind of 70s classic.
Yeah, it was like
rock
Neil
sort of vibe.
Young mixed with like John Fogerty
Yeah.
of Creedence Clearwater Revival.
The lead singer had a great voice too. Real like rich, very rich.
Mm.
A little bit of rasp on there, Very nice. And then All Them Witches, I had a couple doubts because they just their latest keyboardist had left them, and then they were just going 3-piece, and the keyboards have always been like an essential part of their sound. So I was a little worried, but I thought they sounded great, and the guitarist kind of filled in a lot of the keyboard fills on guitar as well, and I thought it was an all-around great show,
I concur.
Fantastic.
Except for the guys who were absolutely like cracked out to our right.
Yeah, there's some guys that were right or left.
To our right, the guy
Oh,
who was
yeah,
like
they kept
had like the acid eye drops.
They tried to kept smoking cigarettes inside,
Yeah.
and that's a big no-no. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
all for cigs inside, but still, like, especially at a place like the Rickshaw, it's like, honestly, that place is a tinderbox. And I was a little bit freaked out, and they kept smoking inside, and the guys kept coming over and telling them to put out their cigarettes, so they're gonna get kicked out. And every time there was, 8 or 9 guys, all dressed the same,
Yeah.
all wearing big plaid jackets, long hair, black toques, dirty
All
jeans.
on the
Yeah.
Durries.
Oh yeah, what
No, but
Durries?
this
Just gonna drop that one in. Yeah, Durries.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
I,
yeah,
thought,
of
I thought it was
course.
Siggy's.
Siggy's, darts, and Durries.
Oh, darts.
Dang.
I know darts. Of course, we have
Yeah,
darts here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
But the
Not
one guy
ideal.
kept leaning in, and he leaned into one of the girls we were with, and he literally, like, unironically, he goes, "Hey, girl, can you hold my beer?"
Oh,
And then she's
no.
like, yeah." And then he's like, takes these eye drops out, and he's like, acid eye drops, and then just leans back and opens his eyes and just like squirts them in. And I didn't even know that was a thing at the time.
Is
but
it?
I looked it up recently. There's like acid eye drops is actually a thing.
Do you want to know why?
no, I have no
Have
idea.
you done acid eye drops?
No,
Okay.
it goes into your inner part of your eye towards your nose,
Yeah.
and then goes down
Like
into
into
your
tear ducts.
nasolacrimal duct,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which then goes and then passes into your bloodstream.
Wow.
I only know
wild.
this because, just to preface, I study nursing,
Oh, okay.
so
Oh, you're a studying nurse.
yeah, I'm a nurse or a
Man purse.
A male nurse.
Of course.
no nurse. Yeah, there's another word for it, but I forgot. But that's okay. But yeah, first year, so
Mhm.
don't quote me on anything.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
That's wild though. Like he just like this guy just keeps like leaning over and saying just the weirdest stuff. Like what was the other thing he said?
Now, is he trying to hit on this woman or
That's
people?
the thing, we
or-
couldn't tell. Like he would just like keep leaning over and just kind of like saying like really weird things, but the guy was just obviously like so out of it. Like the one thing that he leaned over and said is he kind of like leaned over and he like looked at all of us and he's like, have you ever just been so high that you just
Dot.
Insert.
then
Words, yeah.
nothing,
Then
just
nothing.
nothing.
Have you ever been so high that you just blank? No, I can't say that I haven't,
No,
sir.
yeah.
No.
No.
No, not at all. Absolutely not. No idea what that guy's seeing at the moment.
Yeah.
But moving on from All Them Witches, fantastic show. And then I stopped by the Astoria. I saw Wayne Grow. They're just local Vancouver band, and I enjoyed seeing them play set there. Saw Stiff Little Fingers, which was a fantastic Irish punk band. They're like probably the last punk band that's left that either doesn't all hate each other or they're not all dead from like the original wave of punk. And it was just like getting in a time capsule seeing those guys. So interesting. And I've never seen so many 50-year-old European guys filling the rickshaw before. just of like that one type of person. I've never seen that age group so full of the rickshaw before. It's very interesting.
Sounds like all my uncles, like all my great uncles and aunts,
But
piled into this one area.
being one of the only like young people there, I kept getting all these old guys coming up, and they'd be like, well, not old, but middle aged, and they'd come up and they'd be like, how old are you? I'd be like, 19, and they'd be like, 19? And you like the Stiff Little Fingers? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, how'd you find out about them? And then I'd like tell them, be like, well, my dad will be like playing me some stuff back. And they're like, say thank you to your dad for me. Say thank. And then they'd like shake my hand.
I feel like that's gonna be like you in like 40, 50 years.
Yeah, probably at like an All Them Witches show, and I'd be like,
Thank you very much, Jill.
say thank you to your dad. But yeah, that was cool. And I just saw a band from Winnipeg last night, just at this little like hole in the wall place in Vancouver, as well as a couple local bands, and that was a good time as well. Yeah.
Well, good on you for supporting local artists,
You got it, man.
because I don't go to enough. I'm only like, I want to gotta go see the big names.
Yeah, and there's like honestly, I feel when I say, oh yeah, well it's like a local like Vancouver band, it's like, really? Like, so they're not that good. It's like, well, yeah, compared to this massive big name artist. Like, if I go to this local rapper or whatever, like I probably wouldn't, but like I go to this local rapper, it's like, oh, like, is he as good as Kendrick?
Yeah, well,
It's like, well, no, probably not. Like, no. However,
but Kendrick was, at that
Exactly,
level one time.
exactly.
So
yeah,
You got to see the little names before they become the big.
yeah, because then you got a good
Exactly.
story.
names.
yeah, and you can be that person being like, hey,
Sit up on your high horse. Yeah.
exactly. I was there from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, and you can just go and like chat with these guys and stuff. It's wild, right? I mean, even when All Them Witches were here just over a year ago, they were playing a much smaller venue than they did this time. And Ciaran and I saw them play at a record store the day of, and just chatted with the lead singer for like 15, 20 minutes just outside the record store. We had a great conversation with them, and now they just sold out a much bigger venue this time around. And who knows? Like, next time they come here, it could be even bigger than the rickshaw. So,
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
I got one. I've been to a couple concerts too, but I won't go into that long detail over everyone. I went to this one. It's called, well, the band was called This Will Destroy You.
Oh, yeah.
It's an experimental rock group. It's have you
They're
seen
like
Moneyball?
ambient sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
The,
Do you know
like the baseball?
the baseball movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the song? It's like dun 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 dun. Do you know that song?
Whoa, Ciaran, slow down. We don't want to
Yeah,
copyright claim
sorry,
on that.
sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
It's do you know that scene where Jonah Hill is running through the numbers and he's explaining baseball?
Oh, yeah.
The ambient song that's playing in the back.
Yeah.
That's like their major claim to fame. But they do a lot of like their stuff's used for, because it's instrumental.
Okay.
It's used for commercials and movies and all this stuff.
Gotcha.
And I went there, and it wasn't very. I was expecting them to be a little bit bigger. I don't know. They've been around for a while. I brought a couple friends, and we got there, and there wasn't too many people. But the opening act, it was this woman. She brought out a cello. It was like a metal cello, and she like started fiddling with like a pedal board and getting it set up. And there's no mics, right? Because it's all instrumental, so she can't say anything to the audience. So at first I was like, oh, is this like what is this, like a roadie? Like, this pretty weird dressed roadie. And she starts playing, and she has a whole setup going, but it's all like the most like string. I wouldn't even call it music. I would say she's just making sound. Like, she's like hitting a string, and then she would like play with the pedal of like the sound that the string was making, and then she would hit the other string a bit and play, and then it was just the sound, and then she'd like strum and pluck, and everyone was watching it, and no one said anything. Everyone was completely silent. And this bouncer roadie guy, he like it was so funny because I was kind of looking around at all the other people, and I was looking at my friends, and I was like, am I the only one that like thinks this sucks? Like, what is going, like, I'm missing something here. Like, who is she? Like, I have no idea what's going on. And the roadie, he pulls out a bag of chips. He starts eating it, and he's like And then 7 or 8 people like near him, they all turn and look at him right away. Shut up, like, and he like stops mid chew and he's like, "Oh, sorry guys," like puts it away. I thought that was so funny. Like I just started laughing so hard.
Did they look at you? And they were like, "Don't laugh."
Me? Oh no. They went right back to it, but I thought that was so funny. I was like, "Oh my god, you guys need to stop taking yourself less seriously."
Like, you know, that kind of reminds me of like when I was at the Tash Sultana show. There was this one girl in the seats, not in the pit area, but she was just like so drunk, and she at one point when it got a little bit quieter, like just yelled, you know, like, "I effing love you," you know,
No.
and people like laughed the first time, and then they were kind of like, haha, you know. But then she thought like,
You don't like
oh,
that laugh, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh.
Laughing.
That's good first time around. Don't do it again.
But then
please.
she thought like, oh, people are loving this now. They think I'm funny.
I got
So
an
just,
audience
like,
here.
Oh,
I gotta make the most of
and
it.
she would not stop, just screaming. And you know when you're like screaming and you can't even control like the pitch of your voice, so it's like cracking like you're 13 or something like that. Just screaming like that for the rest of the show.
No.
It was not a good time. Yeah. But Cam, you've been to a festival recently in Australia.
So yeah, I went to one, like a big 3-day. It was actually over New Year's. This was like,
Yeah, I remember Jill talking about that.
it was called Falls Festival, and it's in the famous Byron Bay of New South Wales. Yeah, it's like a surf capital.
Cool.
Put it there, you know. Liam Hemsworth lives there.
Really?
Lots of
Oh,
other
that's like
famous people.
the Beverly Hills of Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was originally sort of been like, oh yeah, Byron Bay, bit of a hippie town, but now it's
Yeah.
like it's cool.
It's very affluent.
Cool.
All the sort of big multiple day festivals are there, and yeah, me and a bunch of friends decided to do it. We're like, yeah, you go and you camp on site, and you know, 100 meters away is your whole festival thing. And I don't know who decided that this like farm field, which essentially what it is, was good for a festival.
Yeah.
But whoever did is just, you know, hats off to them, because it's just a big natural bowl.
Oh,
It's
I thought it was going the
like a big,
completely
like,
other direction.
Valley
I thought
sort of thing?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a natural big
Yeah.
valley.
I
And
thought
then
the way you set
it's
it
all
up, I
flat.
was like,
got
and
a big,
whoever
like-
needs
Yeah,
to get their head checked. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to do.
bad.
Like Woodstock, everyone's covered in mud, you know.
No, it was great. And yeah, it's just this big bowl. There's like, I mean, you could seat thousands of people in there, but they never sell that many tickets to fill it up. And that was great.
Who was headlining?
It was Disclosure.
Yeah, disclosure.
Disclosure. Who else was there? Australian rap group Hilltop Hoods.
Jill has
Yeah.
mentioned Hilltop Hoods.
Hilltop Hoods. Who else was there? A few others. DJ duo. They're sort of they need to release more music, but everyone loves them in Australia. Called Peking Duck.
I've actually seen their name put on other festivals.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like Peking, but with no C.
Mhm.
It's just like PEK. But good Aussie duo. Oh man, who else was there? Do you guys know Gang of Youths?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
actually.
They were there. They actually were there before they like blew up a little
Yeah,
bit.
because they just kind of blew up a bit with that album "Go Further and Lightness." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember because they were the second band to play on like the first day,
Oh,
and
they got, yeah,
we
bottom of
yeah.
the barrel.
we rocked up, and there's like some jazz band playing, and there's
Yeah.
a couple hundred people, and we're like, oh okay, yeah, these are cool. Get settled, and you know, because we've got like a group of 8 of us. No one's been to a festival or a big concert or anything, so we're like, okay. And then we watch them for like 20 minutes, and then they're like, okay, thank you, and they leave, and then
Yeah.
these guys start setting up, and as they're setting up, like hordes of people are coming across this hill.
The
down.
Walking Dead descends.
Like,
And
gang of youths. And we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then like it's packed. Where we were sitting, there was pretty much no one around us, and there's like people standing up, and we're like, okay, I guess we'll stand up. And these guys come out, and they're just like just hard rock, and we're like, okay, I don't know who these guys are, but this is so much fun. We had like nothing
in that
to
voice, in that tone, you
Yeah.
guys were talking to each other. They said, "Are you guys enjoying yourself?
We got
it's really nice.
2 more days of this. Yeah,
This is pretty cool. Thank you for organising this. Yeah, thank you.
good on you, mate.
Yeah.
And so they finish, and then 2 years later, we're like, that was Gang of Youths. Oh, those guys are great. And like, and then but that was a great festival. I think one of my friends, we think got drugged during it.
Still
So-
not sure.
Still not sure. We went. I think it was someone playing in the evening. We're like, we gotta get lit, and this is our night because we're like there to see this guy. I can't remember who it was, and
It was that lit.
it was that crazy.
Wow.
I can't even remember it.
Mm.
And I remember we like had something to eat, a couple of drinks, and then like went to this bar in the sort of festival area, and we're also sitting there having a drink, and then he's just like lying down on the ground, and we're like, oh,
How old are you?
you right? Yeah, right.
Lying down on the
On the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
This is on the ground.
I had a bit of a testy pop there, if that's what you call it.
No,
What?
we absolutely don't call it a testy pop. That was
What
a
are
voice
you?
crack. A testy pop sounds like something that happened to Sammy Sallow back
Yeah.
in the day when he got
Sammy Sal is a hockey
body
player,
checked a little too hard.
and he was hit by a puck, and I don't know if I think it was. This is so long ago, but he ruptured a testicle
He had a
Mm.
from the
testy
shot.
pop.
He had a
Oh my
testicle. That's what we
gosh.
call a testy pop.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it was so funny because the next day, everyone was talking about it, right? And
Yeah.
they had a game. I remember watching the
Like,
game.
it popped.
It was like he
It was a
ruptured.
testy
He
pop.
ruptured a
Yeah.
testicle, and
Bye.
the announcer, like the pregame, whatever, while they're making their laps, and it's like, and here's whoever down at the ringside, like, oh, thank you. There are 2 words floating around this stadium tonight in Vancouver, and those are ruptured and testicle. Sammy Sallow
I believe
yesterday.
you said those are testy and pop.
testy and pop.
Oh.
That sounds
Sammy
messed up.
Sallow
It sounds
last
something
night
like Snap,
ruptured a
Crackle, Pop.
testicle.
'Cause that's what we call when like, some adolescent teen is sort of, getting a deeper voice, and then they'll just sort of say something, and they'll be like, and then go back down to their lower
That's a
voice.
voice crack. We call
Voice
that here.
crack. I should remember
Testy
that
pop.
one. Testy pop. There you go. But
I'm gonna incorporate that though. It's a testy
Yeah.
pop.
If you ever
Snap,
hear-
testy, and pop.
but so yeah, our friend was a little incapacitated, and then he got back up. We went to see this artist, who I should remember. Sorry, and then that's the last that we saw him until the next day, and then he just appeared. And then
Where'd he go?
That is
we don't
concerning.
know because we were all camping together,
Yeah.
and so we're like, okay, I guess.
He just didn't show up? Oh, what? He probably passed out in the middle of the field and like woke up and was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
He was like just tripping all night.
Oh my gosh.
I
I
mean-
feel bad for that guy.
We were like, where'd you go? And he's like, well, I mean, I feel fine, so.
Oh,
I'm
fair
like,
enough.
"Alright, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, rock on, man.
that's about it. And so that was Falls.
Oh, Foals.
Falls Festival.
Oh, Foals Festival. I thought you were talking about the band Foals.
Oh, no.
I thought that was the band that you came to see. Okay.
No. And then most recently, while Jill was in Australia, we went to Field Day, which was just a 1-day festival.
As the title would imply. It's not field days, is it?
Oh,
Hmm.
Whoa.
Interesting. I didn't catch up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
didn't even realize that.
I'm quick.
He's smart, this guy. And so it was just the day in that was New Year's Day, Jill?
Yeah.
Yes, confirmation. And that was big. That was Flume was headlining that one.
Oh, Flume is
Oh,
so
yeah.
fuego.
That was a big one.
What?
Sorry, when you use Spanish, it just cracks me up.
I'm taking Spanish. I took it. I took the exam, so it's done. But I've been incorporating Spanish words into my vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, hola, or
Yeah.
adios. Simple words. Nothing. I'm not speaking full sentences into this guy. But every once in a while, it took Josh until like last week.
I didn't know you were taking Spanish. I thought you were just tossing Spanish in for no reason.
Yeah, I've been taking this course all semester, and then I go out for a drink with Josh and a couple of guys, and I bring my Spanish book just to like review while
Yeah.
I'm going.
Got exams.
And he's like, "Oh, why do you have all this Spanish work with you?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I have a Spanish exam tomorrow." He's like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." Oh my gosh, man! And I was like, I'm sure that I have mentioned that I'm taking Spanish.
How many weeks have you been studying?
Oh, I started September.
Yeah.
September 4th. And this is December 11th? So December 10th? Like, honestly, man.
But like fuego, that's
¿Por
the
qué?
word that. Oh man.
Fuego.
Muy fuego.
What does that mean?
Very fire.
Very fire.
Very
Yes.
fire.
But
Not
it's
grammatically
like
correct at
your
all.
voice always like goes down an octave when you speak in Spanish.
Sí.
You're like
Whoa.
fuego.
Sí, claro que sí.
Dia de los Muertos.
I don't know any Spanish.
No lo sé.
Oh, man.
Español. I don't know español.
I don't know Spanish.
No lo sé.
Yes.
No lo sé español.
Sí.
No. No lo sé español. Oh.
Non.
Isn't that an Indian bread?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm going Indian now. Gosh damn.
So
Um,
field day.
Please continue with field day.
So-
Flume. Great artist.
Uh,
Fuego.
So there's
Fuego.
field.
Or
there's
you could
flume.
say caliente. Or no, I guess that'd be calor. Calor.
What does that mean?
Hot.
Ooh,
Very hot.
nice.
No, you would be caliente because calor is like temperature hot. Caliente is like sexually arousing. Yeah, it's like excité.
Man, that's a little.
No,
so
it's like
a little messed
excité.
up.
What? No, because
They didn't see me point to myself. They just
Oh,
see me
sorry.
calling me
Sorry,
sexy.
pardon me. Jill was like making a big
Yeah.
show of like, oh, I'm hot. I'm
You
hot.
literally just said you are sexually arousing.
No,
Cam,
no.
thoughts
For
on
those-
that?
I mean,
For those listening at home, Jill made quite a scene about never mind. Cam, take it away.
I didn't see anything. Jill's behind me, so are you in your best behavior? Okay. Good.
Don't worry, we have security standing by.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Field day. Field day.
So field day. We've got Flume. We've got another rapper. Another rapper? Vince Staples.
I
Oh,
love
of
Vince
course.
Staples.
He was great. And there were a few other people during the day. Schoolboy Q.
Oh, I
was
love
there.
Schoolboy Q.
DJ Snake.
DJ
was
Snake.
there.
Holy crap! Everyone
So
and their
was-
dog is in Australia.
And there was someone playing on like another stage at the same time as Flume, and they're like the last people. Can't remember that artist's name, but I was like, I'm not interested in them. I think it was like
Good choice.
a week or two out from that festival, they had something on, couldn't play, whatever, and they're like, okay, whatever, I wasn't going to see them. Who decides to fill that spot but no other than Big Shaq?
Big Shaq.
Wow.
Are you joking?
I'm not joking. And, as we know...
The ting goes quack quack quack.
Yeah, man's not hot.
And a pum pum pum.
And everyone's like, what do we do now? Do we go see Flume or do we go see the
Big
hottest
Shaq.
artist of the year,
Oh my god.
Big Shaq? And so I saw Big Shaq. I
choice.
did half. It was great.
So much respect.
Yeah.
So much respect.
I mean, in hindsight, I'm kind of like, I should have seen Flume because I've never seen him, and he's such a big artist. And I was like,
yeah.
but I mean, when are you gonna see Big Shaq
Yeah,
again, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. At the peak of his.
Yeah.
At the peak of his. What is it?
Career.
Career. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
He did another song this year, but it wasn't as good.
No. Man's Not Hot is pretty fire.
It was mucho caliente.
Very. Caliente is like it's like excité.
It was very sexually arousing.
Oh really? Hey, that's a word I would use to describe it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have cousins here as well.
So
I'm reading off the schedule. I wrote
why
cousins.
I didn't drop into
and
that?
also primos, which is cousins in Spanish.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, primos.
Because primo in
You're such a friggin' dong.
in Australia is a smoked meat company.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Fascinating.
So that's why I was like, primo. You want to talk about ham? No, we have So my cousins are Angus and Julia Stone. If you know those artists,
No.
They're sort of like bluesy folk. They have a number of albums. I highly recommend you go check them out.
They on iTunes or Bandcamp or what's going on?
They're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on.
Wow. So are we. We'll throw a link out.
Yes.
You are?
Well, we're still we're still waiting to be approved by Spotify, but we're on iTunes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Angus and Julia Stone, good old cousins.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, they
So if you are just like really at the end of your rope with money, they are just
I've always had that in my mind where I'm like, you know
very
what?
rich.
If my career doesn't work out, I'll just be like, hey Angus, what's up, man?
Can I be a roadie?
Yeah, can I?
Can I like live in your shed, which is like double the size of my house?
Well, he lives in Byron too.
Wow.
So
Really?
The
she
trendy
travels.
area.
a
Well,
little
he's
bit.
already he's living the part, I guess, of being the rock star.
Exactly.
Wow.
He's we actually had we have a fairly big family on my dad's side, and on our farm, which isn't in Byron, don't worry, we're not all from Byron.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, it
Um,
seems like everyone and their dog lives in Byron.
Yeah, it's the hotspot. He Angus bought a Land Rover, a bit of an a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, I would hope he buys those things. I
He-
mean,
he
taking is
bought it.
kind of
and
frowned
it was,
upon.
It was kind of like a family sort of farm car, all the cousins sort of drove it on the property and whatever.
Mhm.
And so he buys it, and then we're like, that's fine, Angus, you can buy that. And he sprayed it matte black, just because, why not?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And now he's made his own little band called Dope Lemon, and now there's
Dope lemon.
Dope Lemon,
Interesting.
and now there's lots of little lemons, like spray painted on the car. On the car.
Okay. Yeah, I was unsure of where that car was going to come into the story, but
Yeah, he's a wild man, Angus. He also almost had his.
sorry to interrupt, but
Oh.
Jill, I would really appreciate it if you were less disruptive writing your Christmas cards in the background.
She's ripping paper.
Oh my gosh.
Please continue, Cam.
They're doing a fair bit of touring, Angus and Julia, and Angus almost had his toe amputated because he does a bit of farm work on his
Dang.
Byron property. Looked like it was healing up a little bit, ideally, any sort of sound-minded human would be like, well, I almost lost my toe, I might not go on tour, but no,
Yeah.
Angus is like, no, I'll be fine.
What toe was it?
He's right big toe.
The big toe.
The big toe. You don't want
That's
to
a-
lose that.
yeah.
Ooh,
And
man.
so I saw on his Instagram, there was a festival, sort of like northern New South Wales, went and played, and he's like, oh, okay, it should be good. And then post show, he uploads another photo, it's been bleeding, and
Oh man.
but that's just classic Angus.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
I was gonna say if it's like his pinky toe, I'm like, people.
Yeah,
Does
right?
he
come
does he
on.
still have the toe?
I believe so. It's probably
Oh
worse
my
for wear,
gosh.
but
And would he like to come on the podcast?
Yeah, I want to talk to this guy.
To be honest, they played probably like 2 years ago or something now in Canada quite a bit.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they play in Vancouver.
we
We
gotta
gotta
meet
see
this
him
guy.
next time they're
Yeah. Yeah. Folk,
Dude,
folky,
anyone that
bluesy.
throws music over their toe,
Mm.
Dang.
I respect.
They were at the Vogue? So they're decently successful then.
I
Wow.
don't, want to promote them too hard, but
But
yeah.
the Vogue, like that's
Well,
like
feel free, please. This is
that's a
the reason
decent
you're
sized
here.
venue to play at.
they've topped the charts a fair bit.
Wow.
I was in one of their music videos.
Really?
Yep, this was
You're an actor.
I was probably like 10.
Wow.
What can't you do?
All right. I was a scarecrow in one of their songs called Hollywood. And it actually had all of our family and relatives in it. Because back then they were a bit sort of I don't want to spend too much on the music video.
Yeah, true.
So they just got the family in, and if you look it up, Hollywood by
I'll
Angus
throw a
and
link
Julia
on it
Stone.
in our latest post,
Yeah,
probably.
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm the scarecrow. I'm doing a sort of wavy arm from right to left and back again.
Wow.
I'll
A
show you.
dancer
cool.
too.
I did
mean,
dancing in
gosh.
primary school.
If they want any special effects done, primarily your face put on dingoes,
Honestly, I will recommend
give them
you.
my info.
That was, and you whipped that up real quick.
Fairly fast, yeah.
That was
Did
hilarious.
you use Snapchat for that? Do you use Snapchat editor for that? What'd you use?
No, I used an actual program on my
Oh,
computer.
okay. I wasn't sure. Just the way that it kind of popped out at first, it was kind of upside down Cam's face. I wasn't sure if you did this on Snapchat editor.
That
No.
was so funny. I was like, oh, what's that?
If you haven't seen our promo video, check it out on our Instagram page
Mm-hmm.
for Cam's episode.
Banger.
Yeah. So Josh, after we transitioned from that was all under the umbrella of concert update.
Oh, it was too.
It was. Now, Josh, we move on to the weekly. Now you have a few topical news stories that you would like to share with Cam and I. We haven't seen them,
Of course. yes.
and our reactions, ladies and gentlemen listening at home, are completely genuine.
So I found one which I'm not sure we should be discussing on the podcast.
Please
considering
do.
It is clean.
Please
but
do.
I would just like to get Cam's reaction on the story when I pull it up on the screen. So Cam, try to be nondescript in how you are responding to this, but please do respond to it.
All right. You just want a reaction?
I will.
Yes, please.
I will describe it for
All
those
right.
viewers at home.
Here you go.
Should I read this out?
Oh no, please don't.
A 300-pound woman pleads guilty to killing her 120-pound boyfriend by sitting on him. It's non-sexual. It's not. She literally sat on him.
I guess he ran out of breath.
That's a
It
good
was
reaction. That's a good
breathtaking.
reaction. Breathtaking. I like it. Let's move on to something different.
It's not. No. If you read the article, you see that they were obviously in a physical altercation, and
She hit him with the table.
Yeah.
leg, yeah.
Yes. She
Oh.
did hit him with a table leg. It's non-sexual. She actually sat on him to suffocate him. So,
Goodness.
it's
Respiratory insufficiency secondary to blunt force trauma to the neck and thoracic compression, exacerbated
exacerbated.
by blunt force trauma to the head.
Yeah, that never goes well. when you
Yeah, it's
get
a real shame.
hit by
Yeah.
something.
That's a killer. Hey.
So I'd
Is
like you
this-
guys to read this. I'm going to read this title to you before I show you the visual.
Please do.
So this is California man freed after 2 days trapped in restaurant grease vent. Please observe the visual.
Oh my Christ.
goodness.
Oh my lord.
So they don't know why this guy was doing this yet. They think maybe he's trying to trespass or
He's trying to clean it.
commit robbery or just vandalize the place. Somehow it is a Chinese food restaurant, and after 2 days of being in the
Grease vent.
grease vent, they found him, and he was unable to move despite being covered in grease and oil.
Dude, do you watch The Simpsons?
Not regularly, but I
No.
have watched The Simpsons.
Do you remember that
before.
episode when Homer becomes a grease salesman? And he steals all the school's grease?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
That's actually what this story is right now.
Whoa.
Jill, can you agree? Thank you so
Round of
much, Jill.
applause.
That's actually a Simpsons episode. They predicted the future again.
Oh my gosh.
It says emergency crews responded to the reports of a faint voice calling for help.
I mean, thank goodness someone heard him. Gosh.
Chinese food
guys.
restaurant. Apparently, it took hours to get him out of the grease vent.
Oh my god. Well, obviously it took hours. He's been there for 2 days. He couldn't get himself out in 2 days.
I hope the guy doesn't get prosecuted after this because I think he's faced enough punishment as it is.
Yeah,
You know?
I was gonna say.
Cam, how do you feel about yoga?
Why?
I get it.
Have you practiced yoga before?
No, I more opt for just like general stretching.
Have you ever tried yoga?
I don't believe so. No.
No.
Oh no. Clarification: I have tried yoga.
Jill, have you ever tried yoga?
Yes, I love yoga.
I love yoga too.
Well, you better stop.
Yoga's
Mega
bad.
church pastor warns against a congregation of yoga's demonic power.
I knew something was up.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a goat in the main?
Yeah, a
story?
goat practicing yoga. Kieran, do you know what a goat represents? Satan.
Bad yoga.
Gosh.
Don't
He said
do it.
America's moved on to a post-Christian culture, and it's lost its ability to spot obvious evils like yoga.
Hinduism?
Yes, he said it's created with demonic intent to open you up to demonic powers because Hinduism is demonic. Obviously.
Okay, if I may say something, I actually have an exam tomorrow. It's world religions,
Oh.
and I was studying this pretty much all day.
Yoga.
Hinduism. Yes, actually,
Of course, yes.
there's three main strands of, if I may, three main strands of yoga. It's bhakti, yajna, and oh my gosh, karma yoga, kama yoga.
Oh.
No, karma yoga. And like it's more yoga is in those three strands is more like a mindset rather than like a physical like stretching kind of centering. Like yoga by extension, like the physical aspects of it is more like a meditative state to kind of center yourself, and it's a strand of like a non-dualist tradition of Hinduism, so that the idea is that everyone has Atman, which is your eternal soul that keeps getting reincarnated, and there's Brahman, which is the supreme being, and Atman, your Atman and Brahman is one and the same, like it's this equal, throw an equal sign between them, and the whole idea, the whole goal of that particular strand of yoga is to achieve, like this whole world is, the world that we live in is immaterial, or that, sorry, it's like a it's not real. So you have to like center yourself, and that's where you get the idea of like the yogis who sit and just meditate for days and days and eat like a berry every day, because your body itself, like it does, like your body's a shell, and your Atman, the whole idea is to gain like knowledge that you yourself are just like one small like piece of a reincarnated cycle. So when you understand the knowledge that you and Atman, or you and Brahman, pardon me, are the same, you break that cycle and you're not reincarnated anymore. But like bhakti yoga, like what you think of with like a Hindu shrine to Vishnu or Krishna, you know Hare Krishnas?
Yes.
Yeah, those guys practice bhakti yoga, which is like more of a dualist perspective, so similar to what Christianity is. So a dualist idea is that the Atman is an extension of Brahman, from what I understand it. It's not the same. So it's the idea that Brahman, the supreme being, is a loving God and wants a relationship with us, with every Atman, with every world soul, and wants you to break out of the cycle by achieving good karma, through good deeds and being a good Hindu.
Well,
to
that
break
makes
out of the
sense.
cycle and be with a part of the world soul, Brahman.
Is that where karma comes from? When
Karma,
you're
good karma. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I'm a fan of that. That was
Thank
very
you guys for
interesting.
helping me that was like just an extension of my studying today. So
Yeah.
no, Hinduism is not demonic. You, pastor, you
In all seriousness, I'm a big fan of that whole non-dualistic thinking thing. I think there's-
non-dualism.
Yes, I think there's a lot we can learn from that. But
Oh, like we are the same as God.
not necessarily, but that there's not a difference between us and other people. Like there's like good and bad people.
Well,
Like,
the dualist perspective, it's the same idea that we're all, like all of us have an eternal soul, and we all have the same soul basically.
we are one.
We are one, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that includes, but that's where it differs from like Christianity, because that's why, like Krishna's followers of Krishna, like they have vegetarian meals. Like they don't eat animals.
Veggies.
Because that could be like a reincarnated person, basically.
Hmm.
That's why I think that's why cows are so venerated in
That's
India,
right.
because they let them roam free.
They love cows.
Yeah, it's home on the range over there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
But that being
Yeah.
said,
and,
Jill,
yeah, welcome everybody to pardon me, what was it? Religion 207 with Ciaran Sanders.
Woo!
Jill, if you stop doing yoga immediately, there is hope for you. Apparently,
I stopped.
according to Pastor
It's
Wendell.
not too late.
But
Really?
he can't say the same if you keep doing it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
I'd love to try yoga again if you want to go.
Let's go.
I'd love to go.
Tuesday night taking good.
At the Ladder Community
Yeah,
Center?
it's right good.
I've been there a couple times.
Let's go to open space.
Karen, you're
Oh
gonna
my
be
God,
need to.
open space
Kieran?
yoga is like the dream.
I've never been. I want to go.
I've been there
Josh,
once.
what do we
I
do?
didn't even
No
go
one
for
can
a
hear what
class.
Jill's saying.
Sorry. Jill is we're planning our yoga excursion. So
Kieran,
what,
no
open
one.
space yoga? I've just been inside.
What
and
else
it
have we
was
got on
so
the news?
Well, we
today?
got some other news on the weekly.
So I'll get her.
I'm here.
I would love to
Oh,
go with
man,
you, Jill.
Cam, this is
Oh my
terrible.
God.
We should
Yeah,
make it the
absolutely.
Cam and Josh experience. I mean,
And
Kieran,
sorry.
you're gonna need.
Jill and Ciaran experience.
You will need to be prayed over and anointed.
well, there's like honestly, man, like there is a huge community of Hindus that feel that I think honestly it goes both ways. It's Hindus and kind of rich white women in Western like United States who practice yoga all the time
Yeah.
that believe that it's like cultural appropriation because
my
it's like a religious because it's like a religious meditation, but we've appropriated it and taken it in a completely different way, and there's no religious aspect, and there is no consent on behalf of the Hindu population of the world.
What yoga's doing
You know,
to
there's
everyone.
cultural appropriation is definitely relevant in a lot of ways, but in some ways it's definitely applied to situations where it doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I'm just a
no.
mouthpiece.
But moving on from that, I'm actually seeing an ad on the side of the screen here, and
no.
it appears to be posted by Cam. Australian guy seeks girlfriend. Yes, this is real. Let me explain. I'm a fun, successful guy living in Adelaide, Australia. I've created a fantastic life for myself, and I'd love to have someone to come and share it with me. It's just that I'm looking for a young woman who, like me, hasn't had a partner before. That's so few people these days. I'm looking for someone quite bright who enjoys intellectual conversation. If you're interested, please say hello. I'm still looking. Single guy from Adelaide.com.
It says it's an advertisement, though.
Yeah, it should say .au if it's actually from Australia. So,
Maybe he's looking for a North American girl.
yeah,
Cam.
you know what? Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Right, whoever it is.
Now, I opened up a couple other news stories, but I honestly don't remember what they are, so I'm just going to click on them and see what happens.
Oh, let's roll the dice, man.
Let's do it.
Oh, Fox News guest defends tear gas use on migrants. You can, quote, put it on your nachos.
Okay. That's not okay.
I don't think that you would ever hear that. So this man named Steve Ducey says it's literally water, pepper with a small amount of alcohol for evaporation purposes. It's natural. You could actually put it on your nachos and eat it. So it's a good way of deterring people without long-term harm.
Oh,
You ever been pepper sprayed, Cam?
I've not, thankfully.
Jill, you've been pepper sprayed?
Like secondhand.
Secondhand pepper sprayed? I was walking home from the rickshaw from the concert that I was talking about earlier, actually, and there's a group of homeless people like crowded around, and I was like, oh, probably nothing good. And then all of a sudden they start like running around, like they disperse instantly.
Oh, snap.
I was across the street, and almost like maybe a full second it took for like my eyes to start to water, and I was like, oh my God. And
Oh,
then
they got
my
pepper
friend
sprayed.
said, oh my, is that a can of pepper spray? I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, oh my gosh. And it was actually bad. And we walked to the next street. It was fine.
Yeah.
But my eyes were watering, and my
No,
nose
it's
was
not a joke.
like a little bit running,
It's
and
rough.
yeah, it's not fun.
I kind of wonder if that's what happened. Actually, Kieran, you weren't there just yet, but when we went to see Def Leppard,
I was there in spirit.
yeah, when we went to see Def Leppard, and you hadn't
I was there.
shown up yet. No, when I was still just with Jordan and Eliana,
Oh,
two of our friends.
yeah, we went to that concert.
Before
yeah.
that, we were hanging out outside of a Starbucks, and all of the sudden, we were just outside the Starbucks.
I believe it's all of a sudden.
All of a sudden. Is that
Thank
not
you.
what I said?
You said all of the sudden.
Oh, I thought I said all of a sudden, but I apologize.
That's alright, I got it. Thank you for shortening that, by the way. I wouldn't have understood it.
We were just at a Starbucks really close to Rogers Arena, and all of a sudden, we and everyone around us outside started like coughing really, really hard. Like we couldn't tell what was in our throats, but I've never felt my throat like burn and like the need to cough like that before. And we kind of freaked out, but it lasted for about 10 seconds and then stopped, like among everyone around us. And we still don't know what happened.
It was just a
So we're
light
kind of wondering if it
misting.
was, like maybe like a light misting of like pepper spray or something like that. Like somebody got sprayed down the street or something. But I was freaking out for a sec. I thought like, is this like a terror attack or something like that? Did we just get like gas? Because it was like if I was choking for longer and coughing for longer than I did, I would have like choked out. Like I wouldn't have been able to breathe. It was actually terrifying. Yeah.
So the lesson from this is
I wouldn't put it
Don't
on your
pepper spray.
nachos.
Don't
don't
put it on your
pepper
nachos.
spray. Yeah, don't pepper spray your nachos. It's
No, man.
not that tasty.
No.
Let's check this one out. NYPD officer reportedly suspended after recording his testicles on body cam.
Okay, why were you recording your testes?
Dude, if you're gonna record your testes, do it on your own camera at home. Don't do it while you're at work.
Yeah.
He's just like really into the NYPD video editor,
Mm.
and he's trying to drop hints.
Yeah, he's leave this guy alone. He's just trying to play a joke on the boys.
Yeah.
You know, honestly,
It's locker room talk. It's locker room video.
locker room
He's
talk,
like-
guys.
Hey, did you get my video from patrol today?
Oh,
You see-
you cheeky guy.
Ah, got him.
Did you see when I accidentally left it on when I went to the urinal?
What a cheeky young lad.
But here's my final one. Arizona man accidentally shoots himself in the meat in the Walmart meat section.
In the groin, that's a body part. It's fine.
Actually, well,
Wait,
the
what?
other title that I read when I originally clicked on this was he shot himself in the meat in
Oh.
the Walmart meat section.
Oh, in the meat. Okay.
Um,
Why?
in the
How
meat
did you
within the meat
shoot
section.
yourself?
and I feel like this
At
is something that
Walmart?
really only happens in a Walmart. you
Yeah,
know?
it's that kind of thing. And
Or a street corner.
It's
Walmart's
he
pretty
shot
crazy.
himself in the groin area inside a Walmart in Buckeye, Maricopa County.
Maricopa County,
yeah, Arizona.
Arizona, of course. Wow.
It all goes
Buckeye?
down in Arizona.
It was not in a holster. It was within his waistband, and it began to slip.
Oh my gosh, that's probably why.
A semi-automatic handgun.
Hmm.
Can you imagine packing heat just going to Walmart?
Yeah. Why?
Open carry.
It's so goofy.
What is going on in your life that leads you to be like, I'll just shove this down my pants. I might need it in Walmart.
Yeah.
What?
Well, it's actually like so. My dad has actually mentioned this to me because he has he works for an American company, and when he goes to management meetings, out of like the 40 or I think it's like 30 people that are gathered, at least 15 are carrying.
Packing.
They're packing, yeah, and it's a topic of conversation. Like, oh, what gun do you have? Oh my goodness, oh yeah, I got this gun. Oh yeah, exactly.
so
And they show,
dumb.
yeah, open carry, man. I'll show you my gun. Yeah,
Why?
I know. In management
I'm
meetings.
just imagining like a standoff in the middle of the management
In a
meeting.
hotel.
Like they can't agree,
Yeah.
and they just all like, they're like, draw. That's it.
It's
Like-
like, I'm taking you outside. Yeah. It's high noon.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get back on track. We have
Okay.
Cam
now,
the athlete.
Cam the athlete. Cameron, for those of you who don't, for those listeners who don't know, Cam actually recently ran was it Sydney Marathon?
So yeah, it's like the Sydney Running Fest, and it's like runs for about 6 hours from about 6 or 7 a.m. and it's really good because they close off the whole harbour bridge, so you got like I think it's like 8 lanes to just run across, and then various other parts of the city. If you're running, it's great. You run around the city, it's all open, it's fantastic. If you need to travel anywhere in the city on that day, it's hell.
It's a no-go.
Is it on a weekend or is it on like a day?
Oh, it's on a Sunday.
Okay, yeah, because if it was on like a Monday
No, it's a
morning or
busy
something
Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So I did the half marathon, but last year I did the full marathon, and that was fun.
Push yourself.
Is it fun?
It's
52 kilometers, correct?
42 point something.
It's
kilometers?
Like, it's like
kilometers.
fun.
I thought it was more.
No, it's 42 and a half.
42.
Is, yeah, because if like if do you guys do like miles, kilometers?
We do kilometers here.
We kind of do both, honestly. Like, we're
Yes.
super confused about what we do.
No, it's
Like,
most of the time.
officially it's kilometers, but like...
Well, Josh, I don't know if you know, but
Okay.
I've run a half marathon myself. So
Hey.
for any, yeah, dude,
Runners.
any kind of like running races all in kilometers.
Oh, okay. All right, man.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
No, you're welcome.
Thanks
I
for-
mean, I just know you don't know because you haven't done anything like that before.
thanks for that tidbit of info.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, no worries, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with your, if you mind my asking, what was your time?
So the full was 3.5 hours of
Jesus.
just running, and then I did a half marathon the year prior, so it was in 2016. And I did that in, I think it was like actually no, I think it was like an hour 50. And I was like, okay, that was good. And then this year I actually did 2 half marathons, and I did one in 1 hour and a half flat, and then
hour and a half flat, dude.
and-
That's
and then
pretty fast, man.
and then the most
It's
recent
pretty
one
excellent, man.
I did in 1:27. So I was like,
127.
I cut it by 3
Sub
minutes.
130.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I was just like,
That's
yeah,
wild.
pretty happy.
I've only done. I think
Yeah, Jill was in.
Jill watched.
Mm.
I've only done one. Was
Oh, wait, so you
the-
mean Jill was not doing the run?
He's emotional support.
you do.
Mm,
I will
she
say
was
you
not.
do. I only did one. It was the BMO one in Vancouver, and it was 141. Was my
That's-
time.
Is that your first one?
First one, yeah.
Very good time.
Yeah, I was very. Thank you. Oh my
Very
gosh,
good
got a
time.
fist bump. Wow. Okay. And I was very pleased with it. I will say the course was mostly downhill. It was all downhill though, so that I had that working for me.
Nice.
But yeah, was there any like big hills in your races?
They spaced it out very nicely. There is like one hill, but it's very gradual and you hardly notice it.
Oh, okay.
And then actually no, there is like, it's barely classed as a hill, but there's like a major arterial sort of road that cuts through a big park in the city called Hyde Park, and
I feel like I've heard of Hyde Park before.
yeah, they're in, it's in London, and I think because the Commonwealth was sort of owned by the British.
All right, girl.
They can't cut through that, and there's a whole bunch of steads, so they build like this little scaffold bridge, which is like,
Oh, it's actually like a scaffolding, like.
yeah, they just set it up
What?
for a week and then take it down.
Wow.
And yeah, that was sort of unexpected because you're running flat the whole time, and then you're like, oh, 45 degrees, and back down again.
Oh yeah.
So
And
it's
it
kinda
just
like,
throws you right off, and you're like,
yeah.
as soon as you get to the top, you're like.
For the next 200 meters, like,
Can you do that again, Ciaran? That was a great sound.
That's like me when I wake up when we're driving home.
Well,
from a
testy
night out.
pop.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little testy pop. Josh, Josh normally drives when we go out,
Mhm.
but recently I've actually been starting to fall asleep when we go drive home, and whenever Josh wakes me up we're outside my house, I'm in like a dead sleep. Like I'm a
you
rock.
are,
I'm like leaning against the
Wow.
seatbelt, and it's like holding me into my seat.
It's like you have been like deeply disturbed when I wake you up. Like you're like,
No,
I'm
do the thing that you're like. Oh,
I'm like,
Ciaran, we're here.
Ciaran, we're home. And I'm like, Ciaran, we're at your house, and he's like,
whoa.
It's like
That's
it's
deep.
like I'm coming back from the dead.
okay,
Yeah.
bye, man. And then you just like open the door and you're gone. Like,
I know. That's kind of how I imagine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds scary.
No, it is a little bit frightening. No word of a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he's died and his body has just been like reanimated and he's just been shocked back to life. Like,
Goodness.
But what was your pace for the marathon?
The marathon, because it's spaced out, it's quite impressive. But in like, if you do shorter ones, I might be talking just absolute garbage here. But because if you do like a half marathon in a certain amount of time, your pace might be a bit longer than it seems. But because you're doing a marathon, that's just like 42 kilometers. And
Oh no, I completely agree. Yeah.
so because when I checked the stats, I was like, I do not run, and I was doing a 420.
420 kilometer.
420.
That was like your average, or just for?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's my average. And I was like,
Yeah,
I
that's pretty fast.
don't run that.
That's- oh, pardon me.
ooh, we're gonna have to
Oh my
censor this
gosh.
episode now.
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Because I do a lot of training
Wow.
on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Like just like paced. So that's how I do it. Especially because where I live is just so hilly. So I cannot run flat for a long period of time. But yeah. Go for the full.
Yeah.
You won't regret it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've read a lot of stuff that says it's better to just train for a full than to actually do a full.
Yeah, I can see that. Because like you have to do a lot of like, I signed up to like some sort of free marathon training program, and I'm getting emails on the daily being like, "Have you met your kilometers this week?" I'm like, I went to the gym a couple of times.
Like once or twice.
So I went into
maybe.
it being like, I just want to finish. That's it. I just want to finish. I don't care about the time. The half marathons I've done since then, I've been like, I gotta beat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did this. But no, the full, I was just like, I just want to finish, and because they're still trying to break the 2 hour.
Yeah. Have you been
Marathon.
following that?
Yeah, they did, kinda.
Didn't it? Weren't they like 30 seconds off?
Yeah, some guy recently in the London Marathon kind of put like the whole Nike thing to shame, because he did like a London Marathon, which is unregulated, unlike sort of specific. It's just a London Marathon, anyone can do it, and he did it in like 2:02, 2:01, 2:03.
No
It's like,
way.
he like
Dang.
just got there, and Nike. How do
I
you
think
say it?
Nike.
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 Yeah. We call it Nike.
Named after
yeah.
the Greek goddess.
A
Nike.
victory.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Yeah, Nike did that thing where they had that course.
Yeah, the
and they had
guy, and they had
paces,
the
and they had
Pacers and the
shoes,
car
everything
on
and
the flat,
yeah,
whatever.
and he did like a 2:05 or something. Maybe don't quote me.
Well,
on that.
there was three guys that they had, and then it was like when they put the stats of like, oh, this guy ran a marathon this like time. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, one guy is probably gonna come close. Like this other guy's like ran it in like a 2:10. This one guy's ran it like a 2:07, and this one guy ran like 2:03.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, who's gonna beat it?
but yeah, look it up. London Marathon 2018.
It's just a random guy who.
some dude. I mean, obviously, it's like a bunch of guys who are just known to just be insanely quick. But this guy's just like, oh, London Marathon 2:03,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, what?
Jeez,
Where have you
man.
been? And there's
Wow.
like this one guy who's like, this guy's gonna break the 2 hour, and it's like,
Jeez.
so,
Wow.
yeah.
I think we'll do it. We'll definitely do it.
Oh yeah, I think drugs.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of vitamins. Yeah.
Vitamins and minerals.
Live
Yeah, yeah,
strong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Now, Cam, you're a bit of a wine connoisseur. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I've been to South Australia
Well,
twice.
so what do you think of this wine we're sipping tonight?
I mean, we only started it before. Oh gosh, damn.
Jeez Louise.
Before the podcast. But it is very good. I mean,
Yeah.
it is from
Australia.
It
of
did
course.
say southeastern Australia, so that's kind of broad. But
Could be from your
it's-
cousin's farm.
It's specific enough. They're giving
Yeah.
you a direction.
yeah, it's a good region. I mean, it's not Queensland, so
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh,
Could be
quick,
better,
Queensland's
I mean.
like the best, eh?
Queensland's like that place is just like everything bad that you know about Australia. Snakes, spiders, blah blah blah. It's all
Tasmanian
just-
Devils.
They're in Tasmania.
It's on an island, man.
Of course.
Do you want to look
Of
at my shirt?
course,
It's a
yes.
map of Australia.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's right at the bottom there.
That's it. There you go. Okay, here we go. That's a
Are
great
there,
idea.
Tasmania.
So Queensland.
Are there
Queensland.
stingrays on the coast?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, the crocodile hunter.
Yeah, Steve
Mm.
Irwin, legend.
That's Ayers Rock in the middle, eh?
Yep.
Ayers
That's
Rock.
dead center. It's not that big.
No,
By the
I
way,
realized
Really, it
they're
doesn't
embellishing
take up
that.
almost the entire continent.
I don't think dolphins are this big either. They're not the size of Oh my
And
gosh, how big would this dolphin?
whereabouts is Wolf Creek?
Wolf Creek's in the north, eh? It's near Darwin, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's in Northern Territory, from what I
Yeah.
can remember. I haven't
The
seen that
site of an
movie.
Australian. Oh, you got to see Wolf Creek 2 is
Yeah.
actually better than Wolf Creek 1.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
for
Yeah.
Sure.
How many are there?
We should
There's only
watch
two.
it right
Is there
after
two?
this.
I have an
watch-
exam tomorrow.
That's
Yeah,
for
he's
your
got
exam.
s-
Let's just watch Wolf Creek 2.
Just wing it. Do you guys have that?
Just wing it.
Yeah, just wing it. Yeah, we have
Just wing
that
it.
too. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know what? I actually was talking to a friend before I came over here.
Yeah.
I should be like, have you guys seen The Mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be like that guy that walks in The Mummy where he like, the mummy comes to him. He's like, oh, and he like reaches into his shirt and he pulls out like a cross, and the mummy
Ah.
doesn't do anything. He's like, oh, and he reaches into his shirt and he pulls out like the Star of David, and the mummy doesn't do anything. He like, ah, and he reaches in like,
I just
has
keep
like
going.
it keeps going with all these different. I should be like that guy tomorrow with my world religions project.
Ah.
Yeah.
Until one of them.
Prof
left.
just like looks at me and is like,
What are you
nope,
doing?
nope. It's like, pulls out Muslim.
Pulls like a Mother Mary.
Yeah.
Because it's like a Catholic community college. Yes. Hey.
Rock
Hey.
on, man.
You got it.
Yeah.
But back to wine. Yeah, if you're going into the wine store and you're looking for a good wine, as long as it's from South Australia, you're in good hands.
Mm.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. That puts my mind at ease. Thank you.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
Should
with
we
that-
hit, song of the week?
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. I thought I was about to say, and let's wrap it up.
Nah, song of the week.
Song of the week.
Always the closer.
Alrighty.
All right.
Just same order as before. Josh, me, and then Cam.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Suppose.
Let's do it.
Man, I really didn't think this through. It's a little tough. It's kind of hard to decide between just like Christmas music and year-round music right now. You know.
Yeah, it is.
You
Christmas.
know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm at a sort of crossroads because, I mean, we've got, as I mentioned, I mentioned it off camera recording. I don't know.
Off the air.
Off the air.
Off the air.
That's the one. Australia is doing their voting in the music sort of scene for the top 100 songs of the year.
Mm.
And so I've been listening back to the most fuego tracks of the year
Oh.
God bless you.
Wow. Excellent usage.
to refine and pick my top 10. And I think I have one ready that you might know because it's popped up on the charts in Australia. Well, should I just go first? Should I just whip it out?
Yeah, please, man.
It's Mantra by Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh.
If you don't know that one.
I know the band, yes. Actually, Thrice is going out on tour with them at the beginning of next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a. I don't normally sort of delve into that sort of genre, but it is I'd say like hard rock. I don't know.
Yeah, hard
Bit of-
rock, alternative rock sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a very good song and it sounds good, but the story behind it is even better because the singer, I think he sung like very throaty songs, but he did it for so long that he like did some really bad damage to his vocal cords.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if he had surgery. Anyway,
He did a lot of screaming.
Yeah. And you can sing perfectly now. But in his recovery, he decided to, whilst coming up with a new album, he joined a cult.
Oh my. What cult?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
This
man.
was because it was like
Something super obscure.
it was really weird, and he joined it for the purpose of just sort of getting the experience, and then he was
just
just
dipping
like,
his toe into the
just
lake.
being like, let's see what this is about, and then I'll make a song.
And then you die. Like,
Pretty
Yeah.
much. So yeah, he joins this cult, and then it's just if you read some of the lyrics, it's just like there's a line that's like, read some of the rules of the cult, and then at the end it says, "Wait, how do you spell epiphany?" And so it's like, yeah, you can tell this cult that he's joined is pretty unlegit.
Yeah.
But it's a good song. It's a banger. I recommend it, and it's on my top 10.
Please, Josh.
That's cool. Well, just in terms of Christmas music, I've actually really enjoyed Nat King Cole's version of "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen." It's got some the orchestration on the song is really cool. It's kind of like fast paced and sinister sounding, but Nat's got just such a smooth, nice voice. Beautiful voice.
Of course. It's Nat King
And
Cole.
then aside from that, I just had this song stuck in my head out of nowhere today, actually, because I hadn't listened to it in a while, but it just kind of came to me today. But I guess because I've been thinking of my favorite albums of 2018, because I just want to make a list again this year, like I did last year. And the song "Long Road, No Turns" by Daughters is a really cool song. It's got really cool instrumentation. The guitar work is wild on there. Like, you couldn't even tell they're guitars. And really good lyrics, great delivery. All around, it's just a really interesting track to unpack and listen to. And it's super, like, out there and experimental, but, like, still manages to be sort of accessible in a way. And they got a really good balance of that on their latest album, which is definitely one of the best albums to come out in 2018, in my opinion. So
Big call.
yeah, You Won't Get What You Want, Daughters. Highly recommend you check it out.
Oh, I thought you were just saying that.
No, for sure. Like, it may be the best album to come out in 2018.
And now, Josh, I'm actually going to probably send you into a spiraling depression with
Might
my...
have to roast you over the fuego.
Fuego?
Roast you over the fuego.
Oh, fuego. Because
Fuego.
fuego is to play.
I did not say fuego. I said fuego.
Okay, whatever.
Am I gonna have to fuego you in the fuego?
Play me in the fire?
fire?
Yeah.
Do you want to say put me?
No, I meant like play with you in the fire.
Oh.
Like kind of dip
Oh.
you in and out.
Juego con mi en la...
That's
fuego?
quite enough.
Okay,
man.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I was heading back on Tuesday from my grandparents' house where I got a haircut, which neither of you mentioned, but that's okay. It's been noted.
It's a very subtle trim.
A
subtle trim is the best one, right?
I would have to.
So you wanna keep
I would
it
have to say.
consistent.
I would have to say.
Yeah.
And song came on the radio. Missed like the first 10 seconds of it, so I missed the introduction of it and the name of it, obviously. But I was loving this song, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And
You didn't use Shazam?
no, I didn't. Obviously, I had it on my phone in my pocket. I just didn't.
Idiot.
Whoa! I found out what the song was.
Okay.
And at first I thought it was like a new track by Foster the People. I'm a big fan of that band.
Yeah, they released something.
Yeah, recently it
Yeah,
was
I
Lonely
saw
Hearts
that.
Club. It's a good album.
They released an album called Lonely Hearts Club,
Yes,
as in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club.
dude. It's not Foster the People, and you're not even. This
Why don't I
isn't-
release an album called The Beatles' White Album by Josh McKenna?
Got him. I don't know.
dude. I'm not even into the meat of this roast. Like you gotta save yourself because what's coming up next is you're gonna like jump up and like slap me silly.
All right.
Looked it up, and it's not by Foster the People. They haven't released anything since their album. And I was like, man, I'm trying to remember. And I saw, I was like trying to remember the lyrics, and I was like typing it up, and I was looking it up, and what came up was 21 Pilots, My Blood, and it was a song that just came up. Now, dude, when 21 Pilots came out with their album last year, or I don't know how many years ago, I wasn't like a huge fan of their music, but I liked the guys. Like, I'm like, yeah, these guys just made this in their basement, really, and like just get catapulted to stardom. I wasn't like a huge fan of them, any of their songs, really. And then their new stuff came out, and I really am not a fan of the other songs that have been playing on the radio too. And My Blood came out, and it was like the one song. I was like, man, that's like pretty decent. Like it's blends electronica. I like the guy's way the guy's voice sounds next to like this kind of, it's like alternative electronica. It really, really interesting. I thought it was good. I like the beat of it, and you know, I can obviously see that it's not the most thought-provoking, the most, let's say, cerebral experience that I've ever gone through when listening to music. You know, I mean, when you're eating a pizza from the freezer, you're like,
Yeah,
well,
it's not about quality, it's about quantity. Well, money.
I would just say, like, I would just argue, like, hey, I'm hungry right now. This is really good. This tastes good. I know it's not the best thing that I could eat right now, but it's still pretty good. That's where I stand with that track right now. And it's kind of like the song, it's like an earworm. So that's kind of why I'm saying it.
Well, there you go.
I haven't heard
And
it
I knew Josh
I
just
haven't
would
heard their new
love to
stuff
sink
yet.
his teeth into me.
I have not heard their new stuff yet, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one until I hear it. I may roast you during the next podcast after I've heard it. But honestly, Ciaran, you've gone so low with your song of the week when you brought like Greta Van Fleet into the mix that like literally anything else I applaud you for. So
But 21 Pilots is ahead of Greta Van Fleet.
absolutely,
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
my
man.
gosh.
Why?
like a marathon in front of
Why?
Greta Van Fleet.
Why?
Ciaran, do we need to get into this again? We're
No,
gonna be
we
talking for
don't.
another
But
half
I'm
an
just
hour.
saying, like, in
Just-
a sentence.
If you want to know why,
Is it just because
just
they're
refer
original?
back to the many previous episodes where we've discussed them.
Yeah,
I believe
fair
the
enough.
Justin McKenzie episode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that episode. I was there.
But that's that.
That's all? Oh my gosh, I thought
That's
you would
that.
really just chew me up and spit me out with
No.
that one there.
No, you've gone so low already.
I think he's
You've just
keeping
gone so
himself
low.
from getting full triggered.
I think so.
You're doing a great
You,
job.
you've triggered me so hard that you've shot all the bullets out of this gun. There's nothing left.
Mm.
You just press the trigger, nothing comes
He
out.
pulled it out at the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Hey, what good reference. Holy crap. I was just going to say, like, every time that we do this show, I whip out a song for Song of the Week, and it just so happens that it is, like, a song that you do not like. I swear. Because there has been songs, like, dude, I will look past and, like, previously, like, downloaded. There's been, like, tracks by actual, rock bands that you would really
Yeah.
jive with. But right now, they're not my Song of the Week.
The
My song of the
conflict
week.
is good.
You know
The
what I'm
conflict
saying?
is good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good for the audience,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
what the
yeah, they
dog
love
a
it.
bone once in a while, right?
Everybody just comes to listen to this
Alright.
podcast.
Why
to hear
don't we,
us
hey?
and hear me roast you about Greta Van Fleet.
I know, because you're so articulate and you're
I'm
so
very
well spoken.
articulate. I am. Listen to the previous episodes.
I have. I was there. What do you mean? I was there in their
Talking to our
inception.
viewers, okay?
Oh, sorry.
Listeners, I mean.
Listeners, yeah.
Yeah.
Took us 14 episodes to get to this point, hey?
But anyways, I mean, we're an hour and a half in, so let's wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for coming on, Cam.
Cam,
It was
Nothing short of an
my
absolute
My
pleasure.
pleasure.
A great
Nothing
time.
short.
Yeah. it
And
was-
we hope that you will be our global ambassador and take this show back to Australia when you
Absolutely.
return.
please.
I'll run around the streets of Sydney with.
We'll hook you up with some merch.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We actually got to get merch going, man.
Yeah.
I swear.
I actually I remember checking the demographics back in the day, and there was usually about like we would get like just a couple listens from Australia, which I assumed were Jill. But let's bring that Australia
Market.
market. Let's make it grow.
Let's
Yeah.
grow
Let's
that.
make it
Yeah,
grow.
let's weed it. Let's put some plant food on it. Water
fertilizer.
Fertilizer. Yeah, plant. Hey, plant food is not fertilizer though.
No,
No, I mean if it's like a small like personal garden, I wouldn't put fertilizer
I'm a
on it.
bad gardener.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. You would put Jill. You would put fertilizer on it. I'm talking about like plant grow for like a small personal garden.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't put industrial fertilizer on it.
you never specified.
All right, tune in next week
Okay.
for gardening tips with Ciaran. Thank you so much for listening
you
today.
cut me off there.
Thank
Sorry.
you so much for listening today. We've had a fresh time. We hope you have too. This has been the Ciaran and Josh experience. I'm Josh McKenna.
My name's Ciaran Sanders,
No, I'm Cameron Jefferys.
and that's
And
Jill in the
thank
back.
you to our studio audience tonight. Signing off.
Adios.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
see ya.
listening.